Well, just ahead of his wedding to Meghan back in 2018, Harry reportedly blew up his relationship with his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth. Patricia Treble joins us now for another Royal Roundup. Patricia, good morning. Good morning. And this story comes from a respected royal biographer and the Queen's first cousin who she was really close with. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, this is the most impeccable of impeccable sources. So Lady Elizabeth Anson was the late Queen's cousin, a very close confidant of hers. They talked almost every day. And the amazing thing is that what they're talking about is in the lead up to the wedding in 2018, Harry and Meghan's wedding. So it's not even what happens later, it's just in the lead up. And apparently the Queen told Lady Elizabeth Anson, her cousin, that Harry had been rude to her for 10 minutes. Wouldn't say what it was about, but that it completely blew up the relationship. And then went on to say things such as she hoped to like, but wasn't sure about Meghan. Wasn't sure she was in love with Harry. Was hoping for it, though. And the other thing was saying Harry was completely besotted with Meghan. But that, as Lady Elizabeth Anson said, not particularly strong or smart, and Meghan is both. And really, that kind of flies, all those revelations fly in face of Harry and Meghan's narrative, which is they had a very close relationship with Harry's grandmother. She was very supportive of what they did. And this just kind of says, there's another side to it. Recollections may vary, as the Queen said.
All right. But this all happened in the days leading up to the wedding? Because
this was leading up to the wedding.
Many stories regarding those few days before the wedding.
Exactly. And the fact that this is the Queen's cousin, this is an incredibly close confidant on the record, with a royal biographer who is, again, impeccable, Sally Bettle-Smith, gives it a lot of weight. Also, really kind of uncovers what the lead up to that wedding and all the tension behind the scenes. And it was a lot of fraud. There was things about Meghan's family. Were they going to come? Were they not going to come? How things were being positioned. Apparently, Harry was at one point yelling, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." And this, just the fact that this came out, kind of solidifies what people were saying. Right. Okay. Speaking of Meghan, she launched her first as ever rose on what would have been
rosé.
Rosé.
Yes, the wine.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Rosé. You need the accent. There we go. That's what I needed to see. Yeah. That's right. We were talking about this. We were talking about her wine, and it sold out. Complete sellout. So Napa Valley, $30 American a bottle, so about 40 Canadian, 3-bottle minimum. The fact that it completely sold out, amazing success. I mean, she really is starting to figure this out, but she has to figure out her supply issues. I mean, because she's always selling out so quickly that you start, after a while, marketing people are like, you're starting to alienate customers. Up next, sparkling wine. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So, despite the fact that sales are pretty good for the rosé and that it's sold out, and the jam as well, I believe. The jam is sold out. The honey is sold out. They're all sold out. Yeah. All right. Despite all of that, there are also reports that Harry and Meghan are cutting staff, Patricia, in an attempt to save some cash. What do we know about that? Yeah. So a few weeks ago, we talked about the fact that they basically fired the communication staff, hired outside, which is a little less expensive. Now, Page Six is saying, and I'm going to quote Jane Austen, they are retrenching. It is a retrenchment. Basically, they're cutting where they can because they have a very expensive lifestyle. They have a $10 million mortgage on their house. So, and it's all because of what they're coming up to, which is the Netflix renewal or not, and what the terms are going to be. And what Page Six actually revealed is that we talk about it being a $100 million deal, but that is the absolute maximum if everything went perfectly. It did not. They didn't have as many successes. I think maybe they only got 20 million out of that. And given how many staff they've got, they've already let go 25 in the last few years. They are cutting costs wherever they can. Okay, and when we say sold out, we don't know how large this inventory is. That's another thing to consider. Very true, yes. Very true. Okay, turning now to Kate and Will. There's a state visit by the French president, and they're going to play a big role? They're playing a big role. So this is going to be the first, it starts tomorrow. It's the first state visit to Windsor Castle in more than a decade. Buckingham Palace is a construction site. And William and Kate will greet President Macron and his wife at the airport. They go to Windsor. There's the official big greeting with the King and Queen. They all get
into a carriage procession and they go up into Windsor Castle. So it'll be lovely seeing Kate at another one of these big state visits. There's the dinner. Is she going to come? Is she not? There's no word. I don't think so, but there will be tiaras. So that's a good thing. This is the template for what Trump will experience in September, too.
That's right, with the other state visit coming up.
Yeah.
Talk about Kate and whether she'll be at the dinner or not. A lot of people are still awaiting Kate's arrival at Wimbledon. We've seen plenty of celebs in the stands and in the royal box this first week, but as we enter week number 2 of the tournament, what is the likelihood that we're going to see Kate there, do you think?
I think if she's up to it, and she did say last week at a public engagement that she's finding recovery from chemo a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, it's harder than she thought. I think it's almost 100%. She was there last year while she was doing chemo. She loves it. I think Champions Weekend, definitely. I had hoped to see her in the first week. She didn't. Maybe this week. It is also incredibly hot in Britain right now. It is meltingly hot. But I would say almost certainly Champions Weekend.
Okay, we will wait for that. Patricia, in the meantime, thank you so much.
Thank you.